Hello, TEQ crypto followers, welcome to our video. Today, we will be conducting a technical analysis of SelfKey coin. Looking at our chart, we can see that we have multiple lines here, which represent our historical support and resistance levels. Currently, we can observe a downtrend being broken to the upside with significant volume, indicating the beginning of an uptrend. The price movements are continuing to break above past resistance levels, especially the recent breakthrough of the 8,800 level, which can be considered a strong support and resistance zone based on previous interactions. Additionally, if this level is breached, our next target would be around 0.001. These levels are significant because we have seen previous interactions at these levels. Along with these factors, breaking through this range could potentially lead to a further rise towards 0.010. Currently, our hope is for the price to maintain its position above the purple trend line and continue its ascent. As long as this trend line remains intact, we can expect the upward movement to continue. Now let's examine our moving averages and share our comments with you. Currently, the price is above the 200-day moving average, indicating a potential continuation of the upward trend. Moreover, the 20-day moving average is on the verge of crossing above the 50-day moving average. In fact, we can anticipate this crossover to happen in the next few days. Once the blue line crosses above the red line, we can expect further upward movement in the price. Our analysis suggests that as long as the price remains above the 20-day moving average, the medium-term trend can continue. Let's conclude by saying this. Now let's move on to our indicator analysis, my friends. We will now share our Fisher and EWT trend indicators with you. Looking at the Fisher indicator, we can see that it is in the overbought zone. Although it is not exactly in the extreme overbought territory, the fact that it formed a peak around level 2 can be interpreted as a mild buy signal. As long as there is no downward break, we can expect the upward movement in price to continue. Moving on to the EWT trend indicator after closing Fisher, we can observe that the volume has slowed down, indicating a consolidation phase. We need to be cautious as a downward break can occur at any moment. Additionally, it has reached the overbought zone, and the graph suggests that strong sell signals can be expected during these levels. Therefore, it is advisable to monitor any breakout in EWT trend, which can be interpreted as a strong sell signal. Let's mention this here as well. After closing EWT trend, let's finally look at the RSI indicator. Currently, RSI is at the 70 level. Staying above 70 can be considered positive, as it indicates the potential for the trend to continue. If we draw a trend line on RSI, it is not a clear trend, but we can say there is a slight upward trend. If this trend line in RSI does not break downward, we can expect further upward movement in price. After closing RSI, looking at our support and resistance levels, we do not want the breach of the 0088 level downward. Moreover, the upward break of the 0.1 level is necessary. If the price holds within the rising trend, it will continue to rise. However, if this trend line is broken downward, we have a support level around 0.06, and we need to be cautious at that point. The price movements can potentially drop to that level. We should also keep in mind that, and finally, let's look at our Bollinger Bands. Currently, the price has reached the upper portion of the Bollinger Band. After reaching this level, we may witness a decrease in price as it potentially moves back into the band. In this case, the price movements can drop to the middle orange line, which represents the middle line of the Bollinger Band. We need to be cautious in this regard. Assuming that it drops in the next few days, it will approximately align with the rising trend. Therefore, it won't be much of a concern. It would be more appropriate to wait for the break below the middle line, indicating a downward movement. Looking at the past, we can see that it often fails to break above, and these points where it doesn't break above actually act as support for our downtrend. So, we can say that the Bollinger Bands serve as a useful tool for determining trends. Due to the Bollinger Bands, we may witness a slight decrease in price. However, we want it to drop to the middle line and then turn upwards again. When it breaks downward, we can consider reducing our holdings, but it's ultimately up to us. However, we can say that it indicates a selling signal. After closing our Bollinger Bands, let's slowly conclude our video. In this video, we shared the technical analysis of SelfKey coin with you. If you liked the video, you can click the like button. To stay informed about upcoming videos, you can subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. See you in the next videos. Goodbye. Hello TEQ crypto followers, welcome to our video. Today, we will share the technical analysis of Optimism coin with you. Looking at the chart, we can see that there is a clear downtrend in place. Of course, we can say that there was a significant break that occurred between April 13th and 14th at this level. However, currently, the trend is still continuing downwards, and we can see that price movements are falling. It is currently holding at the level of 355. In fact, we can say that there have been previous touches at this level, so this point is important. If the downward break continues from this point, we can expect a further drop in price movements towards the level of 198. On the upside, if it doesn't break, the level of 889 is important for us. The reason for this is that there have been two previous touches in the past, and with the third touch, this area will be broken. In other words, with the break of the level of 889, we can expect further upward movements in price. It is important for us to see the breaking of this point for significant increases. Currently, the first point that needs to be broken is, of course, the downtrend we mentioned. We want the upward break of this downtrend, and if it breaks upwards, our initial target is the mentioned level of 889. Instead of using complex indicators and oscillators, we try to share our interpretations with you using simple charts to help you achieve more accurate results. Additionally, let's start examining our indicators slowly. Let's see how our indicators have provided signals for us. Currently, the Fisher indicator is at -0.88, indicating that the downward movement could still continue. Besides that, on May 29th, there was a breakout where both Fisher and EWT indicators experienced a breakout. Along with that, a sell signal is generated, a slight sell signal in this case. The reason for considering it as a slight signal is because they are bearish signals below zero. Currently, both indicators are not showing any upward trend. In WAVE trend, we can only see a slight slowdown in volume. Therefore, we can see that there are no buy signals in both of our indicators unless there is an upward breakout. So, it is beneficial for us to be cautious. Following these indicators will be useful for us. After closing these indicators, let's look at our RSI indicator. RSI has currently broken above the 30 level in an upward direction, and we can say that it has actually given us a buy signal. Of course, just because RSI gave a buy signal, it may not be the right time for us to buy. Looking at the RSI signals here, it is important for us that it holds at the level of 355. Additionally, RSI has broken upwards, which was important for us. Next, let's look at both the moving averages and Bollinger Bands. With these, let's see in which direction the price movements will go. Currently, with RSI giving a buy signal, it is possible for us to see a movement towards the 50 level. However, it has previously given the same signals but then fell again after reaching around the 40 levels. So, we need to be cautious. Currently, we can say that it is holding the buy signal. Looking at our moving averages, the 8-day moving average has not yet broken upwards, and actually, in the short term, the upward break of the 8-day moving average first, followed by the upward break of the 20-day moving average, is important for us. In the long term, we want the 200-day moving average to be broken. There has already been an attempted breakout here, but it couldn't be sustained, and similarly, there is a downward breakout here. Along with that, we can also say that we are experiencing a pullback in hindsight. So, as it appears, we are currently seeing some movement, and after closing our moving average interpretations, let's finally take a look at the Bollinger Bands. In the Bollinger Bands, we currently see an upward movement from the lower band towards the middle band. At the same time, the middle level of the Bollinger Band is important for us as we saw a rise to the level of 355. As seen in the charts, when it breaks below this level, it goes downwards, and when it breaks above, it goes upwards. There are already examples of this in the past. Similarly, it seems to be just about to move outside the bands. As it appears, the price movements have re-entered the Bollinger Band, so the first target here is to rise to the middle band, which would result in approximately a 10% gain. Of course, since it will continue to rise in the future, if a break occurs after about an 8% gain, it may temporarily go down again, and then with some up and down movements, we want the purple line to be broken. Let's mention this again here. Let's slowly come to the end now. In this video, we shared the technical analysis of Optimism coin with you. If you liked the video, you can click here. To stay informed about upcoming videos, you can subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. See you in the next videos. Goodbye. Hello TEQ Crypto followers, welcome to our video. Today, we will share the technical analysis of Polygon coin. As you can see, our previous videos have drawn a descending trend line in this area. However, the descending trend line is yet to be decisively broken to the upside. Why will it break? If we explain that, as you can see, we have an ascending trend line here as well. We have drawn the ascending trend line for you on the 4-hour time frame. In fact, if we zoom in on our 4-hour time frame, you can see that this area has been tested approximately 5 times and has not been broken. If we count the advances in between, it has been tested 5 times and has not been broken, indicating that this is a strong support zone that is not easily breached. Additionally, currently, price movements continue to rise in this area. We can see the formation of an ascending triangle on the 4-hour time frame. If we draw the ascending triangle, it indicates that price movements will rise. After price movements continue in these regions, eventually breaking through and experiencing a pullback, there is a high probability of a significant upward movement. In fact, it is likely to rise to around 1.05. We have drawn the level of 1.05 based on past data. Furthermore, on the daily time frame, we have also drawn it because it gives us a more reliable result. As you can see, it has not been broken twice on the daily time frame, working as support when it was tested and as support and resistance afterward. Therefore, we wanted to identify this area as an important zone. As mentioned, we can say that we expect an upward movement in price with the breaking of the descending trend line and the start of the ascending trend line in this small trend. If we look at the moving averages, currently the 8-day moving average has crossed above the 20-day moving average. At the same time, price movements are currently above the 20-day moving average, and we can interpret these as positive signs. We want the next target, the 50-day moving average, to be broken to the upside in price movements. We also want this upward movement to be sustained. One of the main reasons for this is the upward break of the 200-day moving average. As you can see, it has worked as support in this area, and we can say that it is currently acting as resistance. If price movements break above the 200-day moving average, we can expect significant upward movements. Let's mention that here. Looking at our Bollinger Bands after the moving averages, currently, price movements have reached the middle level of the Bollinger Bands. After this level, we haven't seen a rise to the upper band due to the presence of an upward candlestick. It is possible to see an increase of approximately 13%. Additionally, in the resistance zone we have drawn, there is an approximately 5% increase. So, it may be beneficial to closely monitor this area. Moreover, we have already mentioned what will happen when the 0.94 level is broken to the upside. We continue our analysis with the Fisher indicator. Currently, there hasn't been an upward breakout, in fact, there has been a downward breakout, so we interpret it as a slight sell signal. The main reason for our interpretation as a slight sell signal is that it occurred at the 1.95 level. Because being above the 2 level gives us strong signals. Let's mention that here. Unless there is any upward breakout, we may see small declines or sideways movements in price. Of course, since there hasn't been a breakout, it is not possible to see a clear downward movement in price. Because we already have an upward trend. After analyzing the Fisher indicator, if we look at our EWT trend indicator, we can see that there has been a slight downward breakout just above 0, so we interpret it as a slight sell signal. In the coming days, there will likely be an upward breakout once again. It will give us a buy signal. We infer this from the fact that the volume in EWT trend has slowed down and the line has flattened rather than clearly declining. Therefore, it is probable that we will see an upward breakout in the coming days. Let's mention that here. After closing the EWT trend, let's finally examine our RSI indicator together. As you can see, RSI indicates that the uptrend is continuing. Currently, it is possible to draw a trend line on RSI as well. If we draw a trend line, we can say that RSI is continuing within the trend. And if it does not break below the trend, we can say that price movements may rise along the dotted line and can potentially reach attractive targets. From this point onwards, if buying is initiated or if buying is done from the 0.94 level, our first target is around 11 to 11.5%, which is quite close, and we can say that it can provide us with a good profit. And let's slowly come to the end of our video. In this video, we shared the technical analysis of Polygon coin with you. If you liked the video, you can click the like button. You can also subscribe to our channel to stay informed about future videos. Thank you for watching. See you in the next videos. Goodbye. Hello TEQ Crypto followers, welcome to our video. Today, we will share the technical analysis of Energy Web token with you. If we examine the chart, we can see that the downtrend has been perfectly broken to the upside, and we can interpret this as a strong buy signal. We have a descending channel here, and if we share that channel with you, you can see that the descending channel has been broken to the upside, which is actually a very important breakout for us. The reason is that the downtrend is being broken to the upside with high volume. It is breaking with a volume of approximately 680,000, while the average volume is already around 80 to 90,000. So, this high volume breakout is important for us. Of course, there is a possibility of a pullback in retrospect, meaning that the price may come back down to the trend. The levels for that are approximately 2.226. After this level, we can almost say that the uptrend may continue. Along with that, our initial targets in the short term are around 2.97 and 30. We have drawn our targets based on the past. As we can see, it has worked both as resistance and support before, 2 or 3 times. Therefore, we can say that this is an important zone. Currently, we can see a bearish candlestick at the end. Of course, this is quite normal because after the high volume breakout, the possibility of a pullback that we mentioned earlier increases. At the same time, if we look at the Bollinger Bands, the price movements have crossed above the upper band. This means that instead of crossing above, the price movements are expected to move within the Bollinger Bands, which is more normal. This suggests that the price may drop for a short period to enter the inside of the Bollinger Bands. This could last for a few days. However, the most important thing is that the price movements are above the midline of the Bollinger Bands. In such a situation, we can expect to see significant upward movements in price. If we look at the short term, as you can see, the midline of the Bollinger Bands is continuously acting as a support zone, and after breaking this zone, the downtrend has been broken to the upside, resulting in a significant upward movement in price. After breaking the levels of 2.97 and 3.30, we have a major target, which is the level of 5.13. Of course, we have some resistance zones on our way to that level, and breaking these zones will not be easy. They are strong resistance levels, especially around 91. Because in the past, these levels have worked both as support and resistance. Therefore, they are important for us at this point. Now, if we look at our moving averages, as you can see in recent days, with this uptrend, the price has reached the 200-day moving average but couldn't sustain above it. However, the upward breakout of the 50-day moving average is positive for us. We want this zone to break downward so that the price movements can continue to rise. However, there may be a pullback towards the 50-day moving average. As you can see, the price dropped to that level and then rose again. As long as it stays above the 50-day moving average, there is no problem, and we can say that it can continue its upward movement nicely. After closing the moving averages, let's continue our analysis with the indicators. If we look at the Fisher and EWT trend indicators, as you can see, there has been a breakout in both indicators, and with the rising candle, most of the indicators are starting to give buy signals. Currently, we can see that both of these indicators are giving buy signals. We can say that the price is likely to continue its upward movement until a downward breakout occurs. The breakout in this area is really impressive. Additionally, if we look at our RSI indicator, there is a significant upward movement in the RSI. As you can see, it has slightly dropped in the recent days. We may see a retracement to the 50 level in the RSI. Once it reaches the 50 level, it will have completed the pullback, and from that point onwards, we can expect the price to resume its upward movement. It is also possible to draw smaller trends within this. If we look at the RSI, we can see that it is possible for it to retrace within this trend, and as long as it continues above this trend, we can say that the price movements will continue to rise. These are important points. After closing the RSI indicator, let's slowly come to the end of our video. In this video, we shared the technical analysis of Energy Web token with you. If you liked the video, you can click the like button. To stay informed about future videos, you can subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. Goodbye and see you in the next videos.